and the Green Bay Packers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
All right, Lion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. as his guys are in for 6, and the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they will finally get him down, and now penalty flags coming in as well. And they might get half the distance here to boot.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same form.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now a play fake here on first down. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't, and this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll run it down out of the gun, and he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole...
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Lefty.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Out of the gun now on third down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaq Lawson in there to get him for a loss of 5. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
46 down, man.
Now Wentz. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Hang in there now.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them. Yeah,
those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Back to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Set. 319. 319.
They'll set up a throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. He's got his man on the crossing route. What a methodical drive. This is turning out to be that time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
An Eagle 1st down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kiki QT, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Hurry up, here we go.
to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That one goes for 24 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain. And that'll make this a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Let's go! Blue 90!
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
3-19!
They'll look to throw here. And that's incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
Now let's go! Blue 90!
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. in for the score. And the Packers get a score closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Shorty. Big back there.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 3rd down, that's Meyer. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught on the right side by Adams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road,